Hey everybody, let me start with first example with thread. So let me just click right here and create a new class. I will say create a class and I will name it my thread. Okay, in this way. And this is the class. When you want to work with a thread, you have to extend a class from type thread. So you say extend, that's mean we extend class name it thread. In this way, its first character should be capital. Why this one? Because thread is the class already from the system. If I click control and I go to the class, this is already class implemented by the Java, and we could use it to do some operation as parallel processing. So this is thread. So to work with this thread, first of all, we need to override method named run. So just make sure you write I overwrite for the method named public void run. Why I used override? To make sure I'm overwriting the method, to make sure this run already available, and make sure if I run something wrong, he will give me, hey, you have error. So I write the word run. So first of all, to start with multi-threading, first you have to extend the class name at the thread. Then you have to implement the method run. All your code will goes here, will goes under run. Whatever you want to do here, your code. So whatever you want to do, you could do it with this place. For example, let me give a basic example. Let me define integer x equals 0. Then I want to do a specific while loop that continue will never stop. So I will say while. If I want while loop will never stop, I give it a true. If it's take true, that means he always will be true. So this loop will never stop. It will continue working in background. So let me suppose I print the value for x. So I will say, okay, print x. Then I will increase the x by 1. Then after I increase the x by 1, I will here we go. So now here I could write my code. Whatever code I want to do, I could write it here. For example, I want to do counter is just given count equals 0, and I want to display when the counter is changing. So let me do while loop that continue will never stop. So I will say while true, I open a bracket, close it, I will say SYSO, I just printing the counter, I will say count. That means just print the counter for me. So he will continue working in background and continue printing, because this one will never stop. So this one will continue printing the data. But I want to get some sleep. So what I mean by that, let me just first go to create another class. I will name it main. So let me here, I go to the class, I'll name it my thread main. And this class is just normal class that calls the thread. So just having main method and create an instance from the thread. If you see, this is my thread. What's the name of my thread? Here is it. It name it my thread. So to create an instance from a thread, just say my thread, for example, t equal a new instance of my thread. You just create an instance. To start a thread, you just say t dot start. Okay, and here you go. You're just starting the thread. Just by writing t dot start, the thread class understand automatically you mean you need to run this method. So this method will continue working as parallel processing. Just think about it in this way. Just write t dot start, the thread will start. So if I run it, you will not see a numbers change. The number change will be very fast, so you cannot see anything, because the change for the number is very fast. So to fix this problem, just let you show how the data is changed here. So just give you sleep. I say thread dot sleep. When I give sleep, for example, 1000 millisecond, that's mean I will type this line of code in the screen, then I will wait 1 second, then I repeat the loop and then continue. So you would see what happened. If you see this is error, because thread.sleep need to be in a try catch. So make sure click here and surrounded by try catch, because this is how sleep work. So just try catch between try catch. Just save it. If I go back now again, if I rerun it, I have to see it, but I already run it from I have a run from previous time, so it will make a problem. Let me just make sure I just remove it. here we go. If now I see this one, if I click run, I have to see the number C0, 0, 0, why 0, 0, 0? If I just stop it to see what's happened here, what I did change here, I just have count, print count. Yes, I did not increment the count. I have to say count plus plus, so he will continue. So let me go back here, run it. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, how is it? So the thread is working in background. And while you could, in some time, for example, I could do another code here. So I say, okay, for example, SYSO, thread is working. Just message. What I mean by that, what I want to show you here, when the process come here, he will continue, he will never stop while that process running. So if you save it, you run it, you will see thread is working and sometime that one working. That's mean in some time he execute this line and sometime that one working. Imagine when the cross be here, he will execute this line, then this line he will continue. He will not stop until this loop done. He will continue without stopping. And this is a basic example that I could show to you. If you see you cannot stop this thread because you have true here. So it's better to manage the thread in Java. Java, they deprecate thread.stop. They had thread.stop to stop thread, but now they remove it. You could manage it using this way. So you say boolean is running, and this way you could just give a variable is running, and you could give it, for example, a true. For example, for first time, you allow them to be running. So you allow the thread to run. So when the thread starts, that's okay. And when you want to stop this one, just type thread.stop. Type the name of the class. It is t dot the name of the is running equal false. You will stop the thread because he will t dot stop. He will change it to the false. So this one will be false. So he will stop the threading. So, but it's better to use sleep, so you don't want to stop it directly. You need to give it some time. So let me give it thread.sleep. Let me give it 6 seconds, 6 milliseconds. Then I run this code. So I surrounded. That's mean, hey, what I want to do from you are just see, and this time you use this type of surrounded. You could use this one, and you could use try catch. They are both same, throws or try catch same. So here you go. Now he will start. He start thread running. He give us working. Then he sleep for this time. If you get sleep, that's mean the code will be stay in this line until 6 seconds. He will not move next until he be here. So here you go. If I save it, run it, you'll see thread is working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then he will stop after 6. See, the thread is stop working. Why? Because after 5, this line, when I say sleep, that means I'm sleeping for 6 seconds. He slept in this line for 6 seconds, and the thread continue working. When he gets 6 seconds, he went to this line, he changed it to the false. When the thread come to this one, repeating, you say, hey, this false, you will go out. What I want to tell you, you don't have to create one instance from the thread. You could create more than one instance. So how we do that? Let me suppose this one, I just have constructor, for example. I would say public, okay, and same name, I name it string name, just name of the thread. I will say SYSO name. Okay, just give you the name of the thread. So when you here save it, when you here create instance, you just give it the name of the thread. Let me say T1. So just to create first instance, unstarted. Let me suppose I will also create second instance here. Let me say T2. You could give it any name, but just in the screen so you could understand. So say T2.start. That's okay. You could start more than one thread. There is no problem. If you run it, you'll see now 2 thread working. T1, T2. So to make it nicer for you, you could take this one, just stop this one, and say string or name string this way. Then you say name, this dot name, you just initialize it, this dot name. I hope everything is good, equal name. Then when he print, he display here in the counter, he display the name of the thread, the name plus, you'll see T1, you see, he will give you from where the number coming. So if you run it now, you will see now, see T1, 0, T2, T1, T2. If you see here is have two number, so just stop it down and rerun it again, save it, so you will understand what we did. So now two thread T1, T2. If you see T1, 0, T2, 0, T1, 2, T2, 2, they are running in some time and they giving result in some time. See T1, T2 working in some time. And this is the idea. Do you know why T2 only now working, T1 is not working? Because after 6 seconds, we stop T1. T1 we give it false, so it stop it. So if you see only from 1 to 6, T1 working. After he gets 6, T1 stop working. That's last one 5. Then he stop it. Then only T2 continue working. You could make both them continue working by stopping this line. That's okay. And you could run them. And if you see, did you see how two process running in some time without any problem? And this is the idea that I want to share with you. Here we're done, and see you next.